Have you ever noticed that there's a type of person who doesn't need to shout, threaten, or make a scene to destroy someone? They don't need chaos, they don't need violence, they just need you, your trust, your silence, your openness. And when you finally realize who they really are, it's too late. Not because you're weak, but because they're the type of predator that doesn't hunt bodies, they hunt minds. There's a type of personality so dangerously sophisticated, so invisible, so lethal in the way it manipulates, that most victims don't even notice they're being controlled. Have you ever felt that? Like you were losing pieces of your identity without understanding why? Like you were becoming smaller, while the other person grows, shines, and breathes a sigh of relief every time you doubt yourself. What's most unsettling is that these kinds of people never arrive as a threat. They arrive as salvation, as a solution, as the voice you always wanted to hear, the hug you always wanted to feel, the attention you always silently begged for. They study you, not to know you, but to possess you. And what almost no one realizes is that they choose their victims based on the type of emotional light they radiate. The more empathetic you are, the more valuable you become to them. The more loyal, the easier it is to ensnare you. The kinder, the more destructible. But there's something almost no one has ever told you. This type of psychological predator doesn't target just anyone. They have a sharp instinct for detecting an invisible pattern, something you carry without realizing it. And if you keep watching, I'll show you exactly what it is, and how to turn this artificial weakness into your most lethal weapon. Before that, you need to understand the first truth. This type of manipulator doesn't steal your things. He steals your certainties. He steals your self-confidence. He steals your perception of reality. And he does it smiling, hugging you, praising you, while secretly savoring every crack that appears inside you. But it all starts with a subtle sign, a tiny gesture, a detail so small that you ignore it. You shouldn't have ignored it. So, do you know how to recognize when someone is looking at you with hunger, but not hunger for love, but rather hunger for control? If you don't know, you're about to learn. And here's the first scratch on the wall of your mind. The most dangerous personality is not the angry one, nor the explosive one, nor the dominant one. It's the silent one. The charming one, the one who observes, the one who approaches slowly. This is the person who turns your life into a chessboard, and you into a pawn. But be warned, what makes this personality truly dangerous is not what they do. That's what she makes you do. You'll understand this later today. But before revealing exactly who this psychological predator is and how he chooses his next victim, you need to hear this. The danger isn't in the behavior, it's in the pattern, in the hidden design behind every gesture. And that's what almost no one sees. But you'll see. And when you see, you will never be fooled again. He entered her life as if he didn't want anything. A simple smile, gentle words, a calm demeanor, nothing threatening, nothing aggressive, nothing that would raise alarm. On the contrary, he seemed safe. He seemed stable. He seemed like someone who would finally understand everything she carried inside. And that's exactly why she fell. Her name was Elisa. A person who always believed that good attracts good, that kindness begets kindness, that those who offer understanding deserve the same in return. But what Elisa didn't know is that there's a certain type of person who can smell this from meters away. Like a wolf that finds a wounded animal not by the smell of blood, but by the smell of hope. He didn't ask for anything at first. He didn't charge anything. He didn't demand anything. He just observed, or rather, studied every reaction, every expression, every silence. He wanted to understand not who Elisa was, but where she broke down. And when he finally found out, he began. First, minor corrections, then some brief comparisons, then a few minor questions. Are you sure you're remembering correctly? Could he be exaggerating? Could it be that he's being too sensitive? And then, the most subtle trick, conditional praise. I love it when you think like me. I like you this way. More calm. You feel so much better when you listen to me. She didn't notice, because nobody notices at first. Only weeks later, when she woke up one morning and realized she was apologizing for things she didn't do, hiding legitimate feelings, doubting memories that were true, did she realize something was wrong. But notice, he wasn't the one who said she was fragile, insecure, or dramatic. He just made her say that to herself. This is the trait of the most dangerous personality. They don't dominate you through force. They dominate you through doubt. They don't attack you. They sculpt you. They don't destroy you. They reshape you until you can no longer recognize yourself. And here's the cruelest part. Elisa believed he was the only one who truly understood her, because he made it seem like the whole world was too harsh, too difficult, too cold, and that only he saw who she really was. That's the trick, the perfect bait, the embrace that closes like invisible handcuffs. And before you think it, I would never fall for that. It seems, breathe, observe. Because the second truth about this personality type is even more disturbing. They behave differently with each person. To some, they are friendly. For others, indifferent. For the victims, magnetic. There is no external standard. There is an internal standard. What they're looking for is inside you. And if you keep watching, I'll show you exactly how this type of predator identifies who their next victim will be, and why some people seem immune while others are inevitably drawn in. But before that, there's something you need to understand about yourself, something that determines whether you would be chosen or ignored. And that brings us to the next step. Most people believe that manipulators will attack anyone, but that's a childish illusion. Real predators, the dangerous ones, are selective, surgical, meticulosos. They don't choose based on fragility, they choose based on utility. And here's the point that almost no one dares to admit. Manipulators don't hunt weak people. They hunt strong people with emotional cracks. People who believe they are too kind to be hurt. People who believe that empathy is always a reward and never a risk. People who possess an inner light that, ironically, makes them extremely vulnerable to emotional predators. I'll tell you exactly what they're looking for. And perhaps you'll recognize yourself in more than one of these signs. 1. People who want to be understood. If you grew up feeling unseen, anyone who seems to understand you becomes a psychological magnet, and they know it. 2. People who avoid conflict. The manipulator thrives on silence. If you prefer peace to truth, you're already a target. 3. People who need to prove their worth. If you feel you need to earn love, they'll quickly trap you. 4. People who over-explain. The more you justify yourself, the easier it is to create guilt within yourself. 5. People who believe they can cure others. You're not saving anyone, you're just feeding. Your own emotional hijacking. But this is just the surface. The most dangerous pattern, the one that truly determines who will be chosen, is this. You have a big heart, but a small defense. You give everything without asking for anything in return. Delivery without filtering. Open doors without asking who's coming in. Trust before you observe. Forgive before you understand. And do you know what the problem is? The world's most dangerous personality has a perfect radar for detecting exactly that. They observe how you speak, how you laugh. How do you change your attitude when someone criticizes you? How do your eyes react when you hear the word disappointed? How your body shrinks when you sense that you might lose someone. They can't see you. They see the cracks in it, and they seep in like water seeping through a crack in the concrete. Now, before you think this is paranoid, I want you to understand something. Toxic people don't have supernatural abilities. They are experienced. Experience, repetition, and an almost artistic ability to perceive the emotional vulnerabilities of others. And here's the most disturbing part. They don't choose you because you're weak. They choose you because you are useful. You have energy. You have empathy. You are kind. You have light. And they don't have any of those things. So they have to steal. But there is a second type of victim, an even more valuable type, even more irresistible. This person is rare. And when a manipulator finds someone like that, they never let go. If you want, I can show you exactly what that second type is. But first, you need to decide if you're ready to admit the truth about yourself. There is a type of victim that the manipulator does not abandon. No exchanges. It is not a replacement. It doesn't wear out. He feeds himself. And maybe that type is you. Because contrary to what many believe, manipulators don't only seek out emotionally fragile people. They are also looking for a second type. Much rarer, much more valuable, much more dangerous to them, and at the same time, much more vulnerable. The strong victim, the resilient victim, the victim who never gives up. This type of person has a unique characteristic. Even when injured, she keeps giving. She keeps trying, she continues to believe, she keeps justifying the other person, even when she should be justifying herself. Does that seem contradictory? It is not. It is precisely this misdirected emotional energy that predators seek most. Because think about it. A fragile person breaks easily. An indifferent person provides no energy. A cold person doesn't form bonds. But a strong person, she resists. She fights. She remains. She adapts to suffering in order to maintain the bond. She creates complex explanations for unacceptable behaviors. She endures the pain believing it demonstrates love. And this is where the psychological predator finds its favorite prey. Someone who keeps going even when everything inside tells them to stop. This type of person is so valuable to the manipulator that he will do anything to maintain control. He alternates between affection and silence. He praises and then corrects. It creates emotional dependence through its intermittent nature. It becomes part of your routine until you experience emotional withdrawal without even realizing it. And then comes the final trap. The manipulator makes you believe that he is the only one who can handle your sensitivity, your intensity, and your emotional depth. A cruel irony? It is precisely its depth that he is destroying. And here's the crucial point, perhaps the most important part of this section. Those who have a lot of love inside them become a feast for those who have nothing inside. Not because you are weak, but because you are abundant. And those who are empty envy abundance. But why would you, being strong, fall into this kind of trap? Because there is an emotional flaw that accompanies people with a great capacity for love. You believe that understanding someone is the same as saving someone, and manipulators use this as a weapon. They show just enough of their own pain to keep you trying to heal them. But there is no cure, because there is no wound. There is strategy. Now I'm going to show you something that will unlock your perception forever. Bad people don't have to be unhappy. Toxic people don't need to be hurt. Some just like power, and their hearts offer this to them freely. But you haven't heard the worst yet. There is a third pattern, one that delves so deeply into the manipulator-victim dynamic that many people remain trapped in it for decades without realizing it. And when you understand this pattern, you will recognize all the dangerous people in your life instantly. There's a psychological mechanism that almost no one knows about, and it's what keeps victims trapped for years, even after they've realized something is wrong. This mechanism isn't in the manipulator, it's in you. And until you see it, anyone with the most dangerous personality in the world can easily control you. This mechanism is called inverted link. The inverted link works like this. At first, the manipulator offers you exactly what you're missing: attention, validation, affection, curiosity, presence. But then, as time goes by, he begins to alternate all of that with detachment, silence, coldness, and invisible micro-punishments. And here's the deadly trap. Your brain begins to associate suffering with love. Pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you, because this could be the key you never received. The inverted link creates an internal logic in which pain proves that connection matters, and the struggle proves that the bond is worthwhile. That's why so many people get stuck in toxic relationships even though they know they're not happy. It's not a lack of strength, it's neurochemistry, conditioning, and psychological attachment. The manipulator doesn't need to be brilliant, he just needs to repeat the cycle. Approach, rejection, reward, confusion. And each repetition deepens the conditioning. It's like putting someone in a maze where all the doors seem wrong, except the one that hurts. Now breathe. Because here comes the cruelest part. The smarter you are, the deeper you fall into this mechanism. Intelligent people create complex explanations for simple behaviors. They look for nuances where there is only selfishness, interpretations where manipulation is the only thing that exists, deep motives where only convenience exists. And this is how the manipulator ensnares their most valuable victims, making them believe they are understanding a complex soul, when in reality they are being molded by someone extremely simple, someone who wants control. But that's not all. There are signs, 5 signs, that always reveal this type of extremely dangerous personality. 5 signs that ordinary people ignore, 5 signs that you may have also ignored. 5 signs that, if you know how to identify them, will nip the game in the bud before it even begins. And I'm going to show you each one of them. But now I want you to do one thing. Think of someone who has ever made you feel small, confused, guilty, or uncertain. Someone who messed with your head, not your life. Think about that person now. Ready? Because as I show you these signs, this person will gain a new name in your mind. And when you understand what she really is, it will never be possible to unsee it. Now that you understand the mechanism that holds you captive, it's time to see what almost no one notices. The 5 subtle signs that reveal the most dangerous personality in the world. These are not obvious signs. These are not scandalous behaviors. These are details, microscopic, but absolutely lethal. And I want you to do this with brutal honesty. For each sign, compare it to someone who has already been in your life. Let's begin. 1. They change according to the audience. They are kind to some people. In the presence of others, they are cold. In front of you, they are magnetic. This is no coincidence. This is social calibration. They observe who offers what, and give just enough to receive something in return. There is no such thing as authenticity. There is performance. And what's the most dangerous? They become exactly what you want to see. Not because they love you, but adapting to you is the quickest way to control you. 2. They create invisible emotional debts. They make small gestures and then expect you to reciprocate with much bigger things. A comment like, "I only did this because I care about you. I've always supported you. I understand you like no one else." These phrases are not expressions of affection. These are psychological contracts. They make you feel like you owe them something, which needs to match, that needs to be compensated for. And when you realize it, you're already trapped in an unfair emotional economy, where they always gain more than they give. 3. They never take responsibility. They just control the narrative. If you confront them, they deny it. If you question them, they distort the truth. If you show pain, they minimize it. If you ask for clarity, they confuse you. But pay attention, they never explode. They never admit it. They never take responsibility. They simply make you believe that the problem lies with you. This is how they turn guilt into a weapon. 4. They create different versions of you inside their own heads. This is perhaps the most frightening thing. They make you believe that you're exaggerating, you are too sensitive, you didn't understand correctly, you misinterpreted, you're not that strong, you need them so you don't lose control. None of that is true. But if you start to believe, they win. And notice the dark genius of it. The manipulator doesn't destroy you, he destroys your version of yourself. 5. They give you small doses of affection as a reward. This is the most lethal sign. When they realize you're distant, they offer you exactly what keeps you there. An unexpected message, an affectionate memory, a compliment, a sweet apology, a moment of calculated vulnerability. That's enough to pull you back, enough to rekindle hope, enough to make you believe that now it's going to happen. But it won't. It will never happen, because this affection is not love, it's a tool. They offer affection not to heal you, but to extend their emotional leash. Now breathe. Because beyond those 5 signs lies something even deeper, a truth that no one wants to admit. You only recognize the most dangerous personality when you understand the pleasure they get from seeing you doubt yourself. And this is where the next step comes in. The second story. This story will show you how this type of person creates such an effective mental labyrinth that even someone extremely strong can get lost inside it. His name was Adrian, and if you asked anyone who knew him, you would hear the same description. Polite, intelligent, helpful, extremely reliable. And all of that was true, but not in the way it seems. Adrian had a rare ability. He could see inside people as easily as other people see colors. Not because he was empathetic, not because he was sensitive, but because he was observant, surgically observant. And that's how he met Lucas. Lucas was strong, focused, responsible, leal. One of those men who silently support the world, carrying everything on their shoulders, and saying to themselves, "I can handle it." Adrian saw that in the first minute, and he saw, along with the strength, the crack. Lucas was strong for everyone, except for himself. He tolerated more than he should have. He swallowed more than he could handle. He gave in more than he realized. And when someone like that encounters a manipulator, the game begins. Adrian didn't start with criticism. It began with admiration. "Man, I've never seen anyone so focused. You are different from the others. I wish I had your discipline." These were not compliments. They were anchors. They created in Lucas a sense of uniqueness, and with that, an almost imperceptible desire to maintain Adrian's admiration. Then came the subtle adjustments. "Don't you think you're overdoing it with this project? If I were you, I wouldn't trust her. You're always tense. You need to relax. Nothing aggressive, nothing explicit. Only minor adjustments were needed to guide Lucas to where Adrian wanted him to go." And then came the deadly dynamic. The manipulator creates an invisible problem, and then it presents itself as the solution. Lucas began to feel insecure for reasons that didn't exist, and every time that happened, Adrian was there to help. Gentle advice, kind words, a compassionate perspective. And what Lucas didn't know was that all that help was actually poison, carefully dosed. Over time, Lucas began to measure his worth by Adrian's gaze. His mood depended on his approval. Her well-being depended on his validation. Her emotional routine began to revolve around a presence that never explicitly asked for anything, but subtly controlled everything. Until one day something changed. Lucas disagreed. It was something small, almost insignificant, but Adrian realized. And this is where the manipulator reveals their true nature. He didn't scream. He didn't accuse anyone. He didn't get angry. He walked away. A gentle, elegant, emotionally surgical separation. And Lucas felt as if he had lost something essential, as if he had disappointed the only person who truly understood him. And then what always happens, happened. The victim returns alone. He apologizes for things he didn't do. It concedes on points that were correct. It retreats into territories it should never have abandoned. And when Lucas returned, Adrian smiled. Not a broad smile, a small smile, subtle, satisfied, like a king recovering his pawn. But the scariest part came later. Adrian, realizing he had complete control, began to mold Lucas, slowly, silently, piece by piece, until one day Lucas noticed something disturbing. He no longer knew who he was when he was away from Adrian. That's the critical point. When the psychological predator makes you doubt not the world, but yourself. And if you think Adrian was monstrous, wait until you meet the third type of predator, the one who doesn't manipulate you with affection, but out of fear. The most dangerous personality in the world has 3 faces, and the third, it is the most lethal. There is a third side to the most dangerous personality in the world, the most feared, the most subtle one, the most destructive. If the first predator captures you through your neediness, and the second one captures you by force, the third one captures you by fear of losing him. And this is the most lethal predator, because he doesn't need to hurt you, he just makes you believe that, without it, something worse happens. This predator doesn't scream. It's not a threat, it doesn't require it. He simply plants a simple idea in your mind. Without me, you're not safe. And if you're not prepared, this idea grows like a silent poison in the roots of your identity. This type of manipulator feeds on something simple, the psychological terror of emotional instability. It makes you feel that it's only okay when he's okay. He only has peace when he approves. She only breathes when he gets close. She only relaxes when he chooses to be kind. It only exists when it fits into his narrative. This is the predator that doesn't build bonds. It creates dependency. But there is something he deeply fears, something Machiavelli knew better than anyone. Power only exists as long as the other believes in it. And this is where you start to turn the tide. The defense tools you are about to receive are not suitable for confronting the predator. They are not meant to humiliate him. They are not capable of defeating him. They serve a more important purpose, to regain their psychological autonomy, and to make the predator lose the map of their mind. Because when you understand the game, you become unpredictable. And when you become unpredictable, the predator loses the advantage. Now take a deep breath. Because from this point on, there is no more narrative. There is a strategy. I'll give you the 5 tools of mental defense that disarm any manipulator, including the most dangerous personality in the world. But first, I want you to understand the fundamental rule. The manipulator is not afraid of his own strength. He fears her clarity. When you see him, he loses control. When you understand, he loses access. When you realize it, he loses his power. And now, you will understand everything. Let's get to the tools. 1. Strategic silence, the controlled vacuum. When a manipulator tries to pressure you, provoke you, or induce you to react, the biggest mistake you can make is to respond immediately. The quick response fuels the mechanism. Silence destroys. Don't explain. Don't make excuses. Do not correct. Don't try it. Don't clarify. Just be quiet. The manipulator interprets your silence as unpredictability, and predators don't survive in the unpredictable. 2. The neutral phrase, the invisible weapon. When someone tries to blame you, distort your story, or confuse you, respond with a phrase that dismantles their entire strategy. I understand what you're saying. Just that. This phrase doesn't provide emotional fuel. That's no argument. It doesn't give an attack point. It doesn't give submission. It's a psychological wall. And the manipulator doesn't climb walls. He only walks through open doors. 3. The inversion of the gaze, the Machiavellian technique. Predators are watching. They read you. But there is something they don't expect: to be observed. The next time someone manipulates you, do this mentally. Analyze the tone. Observe the pattern. Identify the objective behind the phrase. Translate the true intention within your mind. When you roll your eyes, they feel it. And when they feel it, they retreat. 4. The planned pause, a tool for emotional control. A manipulator feeds on your need for immediate results. If you say, "Let me think about it and I'll get back to you later," you break the backbone of manipulation. This does something devastating to their minds. It removes direct access to your emotions. 5. Inner detachment, the final liberation. This is the most powerful, but also the most difficult. You need to understand that when someone controls your mind, it's because you are emotionally dependent on their view of you. From the moment that dependency is broken, the manipulator loses the only real power he had: the influence on your self-perception. Inner detachment is not coldness, it's autonomy. It's the point where you say, I don't need that connection to exist. And here, when you get to that point, the predator runs out of food. But pay attention, all these defenses, combined, create something far more powerful than simple protection. They build the unbreakable aura, and that's what I'm going to show you now. From the moment you activate the defenses I taught you, something begins to change. Not in the dangerous person, but in you. His presence changes, his gaze changes, his silence changes, his posture changes, and predators notice this instantly, because to them, you're not just anyone, you are an emotional habitat, and when the habitat changes, the creature flees. But this is just the beginning. True transformation happens when you begin to develop what I call the unbreakable aura. This aura is not a mask, it's not arrogance, it's not coldness. It is the sum of three internal states. 1. Absolute clarity. You know who you are and what you tolerate. Manipulators can only manipulate those who have self-doubt. 2. Strategic indifference. You don't react to pressure. It doesn't lose its balance. It offers no excitement to those who want to control you. 3. Calculated unpredictability. You don't follow the predator's script, and when you don't follow the script, it loses its purpose. This aura creates a powerful effect. The other person no longer knows where to hurt you, not even when, not even close. And when the predator loses the map, it retreats. But here's where the plot twist begins. The unexpected turn of events. That which no one talks about, but which Machiavelli understood perfectly. The predator never had power over you. Never. You're the one who gave them the power. His power did not come from force. It was born from his need to be understood, from their desire to please, from their search for belonging. Because of your kindness, the predator only existed because you couldn't see it. You weren't the prey. It was the source. The predator doesn't exploit your weakness. It drains your strength, your light, your delivery, your excessive heart. The plot twist is this. You were never a victim because you were weak. You were chosen because you were strong. And that changes everything. Because if your strength was used against you, imagine what would happen if you learned how to direct it correctly. Imagine what would happen if you stopped giving energy to those who don't deserve it. Imagine if you stopped justifying the unjustifiable. Imagine if you stopped allowing confused people to treat you as an option. Imagine if you stopped being afraid of disappointing those who have no fear of hurting you. When you activate this aura, something happens to the manipulator. He fears you, not because you hurt yourself, but because you see. And the manipulator doesn't fear force, he fears being seen. Now that you're starting to see the game, it's time for the final part, the part that concludes this video. But it opens a door you never imagined possible. Now you understand. It's not about who the manipulator is, but who you it's part of his game. And that changes absolutely everything. Because when a person understands the mechanism, the predator ceases to be a threat and becomes predictable. When you master strategic silence, he loses emotional control. When you identify loops, distortions, and microaggressions, it loses access. When you stand by your decision without bowing to his narrative, he loses ground. And when you build your unbreakable aura, he loses the only thing that truly nourished him, your emotional energy. And then something curious happens. Something that always happens when someone who has been conditioned for a long time finally opens their eyes. You start to see manipulation in places you never noticed before. You start noticing silent patterns in people close to you. You begin to feel an intuition that has always existed, but was stifled by guilt, doubt, lack, or fear. You start to see who was putting you down while saying they loved you, who confused you while claiming to support you, who was holding you back while claiming to protect you, the person who corrected you while saying they admired you, someone who was draining you while claiming to understand you. And each time you see, you become a little more free, until the inevitable point arrives. A point where every powerful victim arrives when they finally awaken. If they were able to manipulate me for that long, how many other people are trying to manipulate me right now? That's the question that changes everything. Because once you do it, you never live on autopilot again. Never give your mind away for free again. Never again confuse affection with control. Never again confuse helping with possessing someone. Never again confuse presence with emotional dominance. But there's something even deeper, and you need to hear it before you leave this video. The most dangerous personality in the world isn't the one that manipulates you. It's the one you don't realize you're manipulating. And now that you see the signs, who understands the pattern, who knows what to look for, a new door opens before you. Because there is a second level, a level that few people dare to explore. How to identify manipulators before that they choose you. How to recognize a predator in the first 5 seconds. How can you read intentions, patterns, and micro-behaviors early on before the mask falls? You learned how to defend yourself. Now you need to learn to not being chosen. And that's a topic for the next video. You may have won this battle. But what about the war of minds? She's only just getting started.